Hello, this is Take Minutes English from LangConnect English Club. I'm me.
And I'm Phương.
Every country had its own favorite food, so when people leave home and move to a different country, getting used to the new food there can be a surprise.
Food can have strange sounding names. Do you know what is a toad? It's an animal, very similar to a frog. And you might be surprised to hear that a famous English meal is toad in the hole. Don't worry though, it's made with sausages, not toads.
In this program, we're exploring people's first impressions of a new culture through its food. We'll be hearing how two women, one a refugee, the other is a dietitian, adapted to the food of the new home. And as usual, we'll be learning some useful new vocabulary too.
But first, I have a question for you, Me. A British summer wouldn't be complete without a traditional cream tea. Scones, cream, and jam eaten with a cup of tea. It sounds lovely, but strangely, there have been many arguments over cream teas. So, what is the cream tea debate about? A. Whether to drink tea or coffee. B. Whether to put cream or jam onto the scone first. C. Whether strawberry or raspberry jam is better.
Well, I think the controversy is whether to add cream or jam first.
Okay, Me, I'll review the correct answer later in the program. Natalia Tsykenko arrived in the Netherlands after leaving her home in Ukraine. Following the Russian invasion, she moved with Wenarika Grosweska, who's originally from Poland, and her family, starting them on a journey to open their own restaurant, Natalia's Kitchen. Here's what she shared with BBC World Service program The Food Change. Natalia explained that at first, she felt completely out of her comfort zone. She had been used to certain ingredients in Ukraine, but in the Netherlands, many of those staples were unavailable. She had to adapt by using local foods, finding replacements, and making the best of what was available.
At first, Natalia fell out of her comfort zone, a familiar situation in which someone feels secure and in control. She had to adapt to her new life in Netherlands. She had to change in order to succeed in her new situation.
Some of the staple ingredients Natalia used in Ukraine weren't available in the Netherlands. A staple is a basic and important type of food that is regularly eaten by a large portion of the population. So, Natalia adapted her recipes, replacing Ukrainian with Dutch ingredients to create a new kind of cooking that her customers loved.
Our second story involves Rachel Winter Roche, who left her home in England to work on the sunny island of Tobago in the Southwest Caribbean. She spoke to BBC World Service program The Food Chain about the food challenges she faced. Rachel said she was in for a shock when she arrived in the Caribbean, as seasoning played a much bigger role in food preparation than she has expected. She found that everyone has their own way of seasoning, making tweaks with no fixed quantities. It took her a while to get used to this, learning mostly through trial and error. She admitted that her family didn't always appreciate the mistakes she made along the way.
When Rachel moved to Tobago, she was in for a shock. The phrase to be in for a shock means to be sure of expressing a surprising or unpleasant situation. In Rachel's case, the surprise involved seasoning, the salt, herbs, and spices added to food to enhance the flavor.
In the Caribbean, seasoning is a big deal. Everyone has their own seasoning recipe, including little tweaks or small adjustments, which they have added themselves. It took time for Rachel to develop her seasoning skill, mainly through trial and error. a way of solving problems by trying a number of different methods and learning from the mistakes you make along the way.
Whether you're fleeing war, starting a new job, or enjoying a cream tea, it seems there's a lot to learn about the place from its food, including Britain. So I think it's time for me to review the answer to my question. Me. Why is the traditional British cream tea controversial?
Well, I guess it was because people disagree about whether cream or jam should go on the scone first.
Which was the correct answer. And anyone who says it's jam first is just wrong. So, let's recap the vocabulary we've learned in this program, starting with comfort zone, a situation in which you feel comfortable and in control. Adapt, to change so as to successfully fit in with a new situation. Stable, a basic and important type of food that is regularly eaten by a large portion of the population. To be in for a shock, to be guaranteed to experience a surprising or unpleasant situation. Tweak, a small adjustment to something in order to improve it. Trial and error, solving a problem by trying different methods and learning from mistakes.
Once again, our 6 minutes are up. And remember to join us again here at 6 Minute English. Goodbye for now.
Bye!